I've got some amazing news for you today. If retatrutide and CagriSema are two drugs that you're excited about, and I'm going to tell you why we could potentially get both of these drugs up to 5 months earlier than we initially thought that we were going to get them. Now, if you are new here, my name is Dave Knapp. I run On the Pen. It's an online platform designed to bring you patient-centric obesity medicine news in a timely manner and in a way that you can trust the information so that you can have more competent and confident conversations with your doctor. If that sounds like you and you believe in what we're trying to build, hit the subscribe button or check out my link tree and follow along on Substack, where you can get articles delivered directly to your inbox. But let's talk about this, because this is a huge bit of news that sort of flew under the radar this past week. Now, to understand this news, I need to put it in a little bit of context first. When a drug company runs their phase 3 trials, that's actually the last step that a drug goes through before it's actually approved for marketing and sale in the United States. That process typically takes 12 months, 10 to 12 months for a drug to get approved. Now, there is this little sort of workaround for pharmaceutical companies where they can apply for a fast track approval process if a drug meets certain criteria. That fast track process takes it from 10 to 12 months to around 6 months for approval time. So why could we potentially get CagriSema and retatrutide up to 5 months earlier than we thought? Well, just this past week, the FDA announced that they are going to be streamlining the approval process for these drugs and offering an additional way to fast track approval for drugs that meet the United States priorities on health. And of course, obesity is one of those priorities. So what happens in this new process? Well, if a drug is given this new designation for rapid approval, essentially the companies can start to submit data during the phase 3 trial, so that once the phase 3 trial ends, the process will only take an additional 1 to 2 months for that approval to happen, taking it from 6 months down to 2 months, or even as early as 1 month. So we could see retatrutide and CagriSema up to 5 months earlier than anticipated. So what is the timeline? Well, the timeline for both is likely very similar. The final trial for CagriSema is wrapping up towards the end of the third quarter of this year. The most recent Novo Nordisk earnings call, the leadership told us that they don't plan to apply for approval for CagriSema until the end of 2025. That means that it's going to be around the middle of 2026 until it gets approved. But if the FDA designates CagriSema in this fast track manner, we could get CagriSema as early as the first couple of months of 2026. Now, for retatrutide's part, retatrutide clinical trial ends at the end of May 2026. They plan to apply for approval right after that, so the submission could land retatrutide's approval somewhere in the middle of 2026 if everything goes according to plan. So for these reasons, this update from the FDA gives us a tremendous amount of hope that we could see CagriSema and retatrutide on the market up to 5 months earlier than first anticipated. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking, saving it, sharing it, interacting with it. That trains the algorithm to tell it that you enjoy this content and you want to see more of it. So it's never been more important to hit those buttons and train the algorithm and support the work that we're doing here at On the Pen. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being the best part of what we do at On the Pen.